You are now listening to the Pelicans post-game report. Flash report.
What's up, Coach? This is Will Guillory from The Athletic. Just what was it like to be out there? First practice with the team, first practice, official, being back on the sidelines. What was it like for you being out there?
Yeah, I mean, it was good to be back out there. It's been a long time because of the way the seasons have gone and everything. I mean, it's been 2.5 years, a little more than 2.5 years since I run a practice. So I'll be honest, I was a little nervous about it. You worry that you've forgotten how to do that, but I knew I had good people around me, coaches who wouldn't let me screw it up too badly. So that was my comfort zone.
Hey, Coach, this is Christian Clark of NOLA.com. I know a lot of these guys haven't got to play 5-on-5 because of, the nature of this virus. Just what was the fitness level like and, these guys getting up and down together for the first time?
Well, it wasn't bad, that's for sure. But we didn't go 5-on-5 today. We went 4-on-4. Did a lot of defensive work. In fact, that's really all we did was defensive work. Obviously, we needed offense to play against. And then we had a lot of guys. I mean, there were 17 guys at practice today. So, you get a lot of time on the sideline. So I don't think it was a really taxing practice, to be quite honest. But they got through it well and with good effort and energy. So I was happy with that.
Hey, Coach, it's Andrew from ESPN. You mentioned there were 17 guys, I guess. So who did you not have today available for practice?
Well, when we did the full court work, we didn't have Josh Hart. He did all of the half court work, which was extensive, but he didn't do the full court work. And then Willie Hernangomez still has work visa, and so. 17 included Josh, actually, the part he did. So we had 16 for the full court part. But Willie Hernangomez, Will Magnay is not here from Australia yet. And Najee Marshall who's another two-way guy, is coming in tomorrow, but has not been here. So, yeah, we had some people who couldn't work.
Hey, Coach, this is Fletcher from NBC in New Orleans. I'm sure you may have seen JJ Redick's colorful comments about your training camps and your drill work. How important is it for you to maybe set that tone of what you want, how you do it from day one? Is that an emphasis starting today, or I guess just kind of following up on his comments?
Yeah, I mean, it was funny what he said. I thought I got a kick out of it, to be quite honest. It's and it's a lot different. I mean, the first training camp I went through with JJ was 13 years ago. So he was a young dude then. Now he's an old guy. It doesn't take long in this business for that to happen. But yeah, of course, I think everybody, day one, you want to set the tone, whatever your tone is that you want to set. And for us, it was to put the defense first and foremost. I generally actually like to get some offense in so we can play a little bit more organized basketball and play our defense against that. But I thought it was important this year, me coming in new, that we went right to the priority first, and I didn't want to be out there walking through a lot of offense and things like that on day one. We'll start on that tomorrow morning. But today we just wanted to get a defensive mentality, get an idea of how we wanted to play on the defensive end of the floor. We didn't get a ton of that in even, but we got some of it in.
Hey, Stan, Scott Kushner with the Picayune. I know it's just one practice and not even necessarily talking about what you saw on the court today. But what have been your impressions of Zion, just getting to know him, being around him? What is has anything taken you by surprise? Or is this someone that it's basically, someone who is going to be very important to what you guys are doing? Is it everything that you kind of expected?
Yeah, well, I've really enjoyed talking to him, over the last, 6 weeks or whatever, 7 weeks, getting to know him. He's clearly a very intelligent guy. And I've enjoyed talking to him both about himself and his game and the team. He's had some really positive things here right off the bat. I mean, he's got no limitations in practice, so that's a good thing. He passed his conditioning test easily, which was a good thing. We had him do some running, 3-minute run on the court. Everybody passed it. He passed his very easily. He and Nikhil probably did theirs the easiest. I don't mean easy, but exceeded their goal by the most. So that was really good. And then I thought in practice today, he gave really, really good effort, as did everybody on the defensive work. So it's all been positive so far.
Coach, this is David Grubb from thebirdrights.com. One of the things JJ also said about this team was it was one of the quietest teams he had ever been on last season. When you're stressing defense and communication is such an integral part of that, did you notice that this team was communicating better as you instructed? And who led that trying to just get guys to be vocal on the court today?
I thought everybody made an effort at it, David, but it's got to get a lot better, even from what went today. It certainly is quiet. Now, to be fair, when you're doing stuff that's new, you're not as comfortable. It's a little hard to communicate, so we'll have to see where we get to. But certainly something that needs to improve a great deal is the communication. I thought it got better as practice went on. And we'll just have to continue to work at it as we go.
Hey Stan, this is Christian Clark again. I was just wondering, the new members of the Pelicans coaching staff, if you could just take a second and just kind of talk about what you think they bring to the table and kind of what we can expect from the new members, but not necessarily the holdovers.
Yeah, so Bob Byers, a guy that I've worked with for the longest. He and I, we both went to college in Western New York and then went into coaching in the Northeast. Started with small college coaching and worked up, so we ran in the same circles from the early 80s on. We worked together for the first time at the University of Wisconsin, so early 90s. So, and then he worked with me all 5 years in Orlando, 4 years in Detroit, and now here. So we've worked together for a long time. And as I said to the team yesterday, I've worked with a lot of really good coaches, in this league too. Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra and Steve Clifford and Brendan Malone and, on and on and on with really good coaches. And he's as good as anybody I've ever worked with. He's as good a teacher and as good a coach as there is anywhere. So there was never a doubt in my mind that I wanted to have him with me. Rex Walters I've known since he was a player for the Heat and I was an assistant coach. And, he was one of the most competitive people that I'd ever been around. I mean, you play 3-on-3 after practice and it was the NBA Finals. I mean, he just really competitive guy. And then I was, he's been at this a long time in coaching, 10 years as a Division I head coach, and has really, really worked at it, takes it seriously. So that was important to me. Casey Hill, I had people, I didn't know Casey. I had people recommend him to me. I knew how good a coach his dad was. And a lot of people, both in the Clippers organization and other people, just said, hey, this guy's really, really good, really, really smart. And then when I interviewed him, just the way he processes the game and the way he thinks about the game, particularly at the offensive end of the floor, I thought would be really, really helpful. I really wanted another person that had some different offensive ideas and things. And I certainly think he brings that. Plus, obviously my own situation growing up as a coach's son and being around the game, I tend to be partial to those people anyway. And Casey, as I said to our team yesterday, has literally been around the NBA his entire life. I mean, he's grown up in this, and I think there's an advantage there. And then Bino and Corey are both, two 13-year NBA veterans. Bino, I coached for a year in Detroit. Really smart basketball player, who became a very good NBA player because of his skills and his smarts. I mean, not the most athletic guy, not real big, but just really knows how to play the point guard position. He has really worked at the coaching part of it. I've stayed in touch with him. He's always, since he's gotten out the last 2 years, really worked at it. Got a chance to be a G League assistant second half of last year, but right before we shut it down. But he lived 3,000 miles from his wife and infant son because he just wanted to coach. So put that with his smarts and stuff, I knew he would be really good. And then Corey Brewer, it sort of took me by because, he was just playing in the bubble. Just a couple months ago, this guy was playing, so I didn't know what his plans were. But when we had the opportunity, he was a guy I was really interested in. I know Billy Donovan pretty well, and Billy's spoken very highly of him since his days in college. And what he's always been is a great, great competitor and energy guy. And so one of the things we wanted to do was just put as many highly competitive people around our guys as we could. That's the other reason we wanted to elevate Teresa Weatherspoon. I mean, these are some of the most competitive people that I know, and I wanted them around. And so I think Corey is a guy who everybody who coached him in his entire career loved him, loved what he brought on a daily basis, and I expect he'll bring that same kind of energy here.
What's up, Coach? This is Will from The Athletic again. Knowing how short this window is between the start of team activities to actually playing against other teams, do you change the way you structure some of these practices or how much you try to put in? I guess, what's your approach just during this shortened preseason?
Yeah, that's a great question, Will. And it's hard. I mean, it really is, because you got to be ready to play early and you want to get everything in. But I'm also new, and we've got a lot of young players, and I don't want to try to build the house so quickly and be in such a rush that I don't put a foundation in. I can get the house up a lot quicker if I don't do any of that, but I just think it would be a mistake in the long run. So while we'll try to speed up and get as much in as we can, like today, I didn't get through my practice plan. I didn't get to the 5-on-5 pick and roll stuff. I didn't. We went longer on the other stuff, but we will try to speed up, but there's just, you don't want to skip important stuff either. So we'll be ready to go on the 23rd when we play. We may not have everything in our bag that we want to have at that point, but we'll be ready, and we'll try to be solid with what we do.
Coach David Grove again. How do you balance the individual development of guys and what you saw from them as you were developing your plan for this team versus those team concepts that you want to see in place before the start of the season?
Well, I think, personally, David, I think they're one and the same, right? I mean, this is a team sport and a team game. And so developing players is about developing them to be able to play basketball with a team and win games. And so I think it's all one and the same. I mean, what we did today of all defense for 3 hours, that's player development to me. I mean, they're learning how to play at the defensive end of the floor. And tomorrow when we start putting in offensive concepts, I mean, that learning the game and everything is all part of this. So I don't see it as two separate things. I think that you coach your team, you coach everybody out there, and that is a huge part of player development. And then some of them will get extra work in and things, but everything you do is player development. Coaching is trying to make your players and your team better. That's simply what it is.
Great. Thank you very much, Coach.
Hey, Brandon, Christian Clark here with NOLA.com. It sounded like today there's a heavy emphasis on defense. Just what was it like, getting back out on the court together?
I felt good. Felt good to just be out there with the new players, figuring out what all the coaches want from each of us, and just continuing to hear the message of what we need to do on the defensive end. I think today was the emphasis on the defensive end of every coverage that we're doing. It was very detailed from top to bottom, and it was just a day, really a mental day for us.
What's up, y'all? This is Will Guillory from The Athletic. And yeah, you talked about just the day, but just speak about just Stan and what he was like in his first day and how different he was compared to other coaches you worked with in the past.
Well, today was basically a teaching day for us. I think he did a great job in teaching everything from top to bottom. On the defensive end, our assignments from the guard position, from the wing position, from the big position, in a way that everybody understand it. He took his time on it. I think rather than the physical part of us going against each other all day long, we just stopped and got just everything right, everything that we thought it was going to be bad habits. We just used communication to fix everything. So today was just a big communication day on the defensive end.
Hey, Brandon, it's Andrew from ESPN. What was it like just having 3 straight hours of defense? Well, do you remember the last time you just practiced 3 straight hours of defense?
It's been a while, but the first thing I noticed getting into practice is, to be with Stan is you have to be mentally focused. And whether we're going up and down, whether we're sitting there for 50 minutes and just listening to him talk, we got to be locked in and having a sense of urgency on just everything that he's saying is going to just help us throughout the games. It's just going to be second nature for us. So I understand everything he's doing.
Yeah, this is Jim from Pelicans.com. Obviously, this was the first time that you guys have been together as just a whole group. I know you've had individual workouts where you've only been able to see a guy or two or what have you. But, I mean, how much fun was it and what was it like for you just to have the whole group together and see some of the guys that you haven't been able to spend that much time around?
I think the first day is always fun. Just seeing the guys again. Of course, having new guys in and seeing how they're going to be. And the good thing with me coming here in the first and second year is I've been around good guys the whole time that I've been here. Good guys with good attitudes. Working every single time that I come in the gym, if it's guys before me, if it's guys after me, they know exactly what they're doing when they're off the court or going on the basketball floor. So I'm just surrounded by a bunch of good guys again. It's always fun coming in here for the first time after being in the off season. So I just look for more and more consistent days out of everybody and myself.
Hey, Brandon, this is David Grubb with thebirdrights.com. One of the things that for players in this league to take that next step is to become a great two-way player. For yourself, like you said, you learned about those responsibilities on the wing, responsibilities on the perimeter. How much of that were you already trying to incorporate into your game, and how much of that, the instruction that you got from Coach Van Gundy, was something that really was, was there a wow moment today or something that just opened your eyes a bit?
I think today was emphasis for me today was on the defensive end. Just showing that I could be able to guard, be in the right position at the right time, that I could be coachable and being able to listen. I think we used the two-way player thing a little bit too much. That's how the game of basketball is supposed to be played. You're supposed to be good on the defensive end, especially if you're not good on the offensive end. But the good thing and the gift that I have is that I'm talented on the offensive end and defensive end. But the defensive end takes a little more effort, and that's all it is. It's the effort, and I mean, it's fun. It's fun going out there and knowing that your teammates are all in with you and they're doing the same thing, and it makes it fun to go out there and defend guys and have guys behind you. And they definitely showed that today that they definitely want to defend. So hopefully we can keep it going.
Hey Zion, it's Andrew from ESPN. What was the first day of practice like under Stan Van Gundy?
Defense, and more defense.
What was that like for you, just having to go through a 3-hour practice just on defense?
I mean, it was great. He's a very detailed guy, so we went through a lot. I feel like we got a lot done for one day, especially the first day, and I'm excited to continue to work with him.
What's up, Zion? This is Will Guillory with The Athletic. I'm sure you knew how details-oriented Coach Van Gundy was going to be coming in, but just to see it up close and personal with, a 3-hour practice, what was like just kind of being part of that?
It's great. It's different from last year, but I think it's going to be great for us because, the first 30 to 40 minutes of practice, it was just him breaking everything down on what we're going to do, and then we got after it for like 2 hours, and like I said, we got a lot done. For the first day, it was great, and excited to come back tomorrow.
Hey, Zion, this is Fletcher from NBC New Orleans. Coach said that you passed your conditioning test with flying colors and that you and Nikhil were actually two of the leaders when it came to the conditioning test. Do you feel like at some point people will stop focusing on your conditioning and examining social media pictures of what kind of shape you're in and things like that?
Honestly, who knows? It's like my mom says, people got to talk about something, keep the conversation going. So, they can feel free to talk about whatever they want. But it's like I said before I left the bubble, to the people that I need to hear it from and to the people that matter to me, that's who I'll be listening to the most.
Hey, Zion, this is Christian Clark at Conf. You mentioned the other day that, Stan was kind of old school, and to you, that's a good thing. Like not everybody is like that nowadays, and that's not a good or a bad thing, but like why is, for you personally, why is old school, a good quality?
I love it, and I think it's a great quality because that's just how I was trained, very old school. Just always going to be on you, always expecting greatness from you, never satisfied, and, coming to the gym with the idea of we're going to get better today. Like, it may be tough, some days it may be easier, but always coming in the gym with the idea that we're going to get better today.
Zion, Scott Kushner with NOLA.com. If you were to kind of describe what you want to look like defensively, not just yourself, but also, this team, there were so many shortcomings last year and so much miscommunication. What would you kind of describe as being an ideal defense for where you guys are there heading into this year?
I don't really think there's knowing me, there's no, I guess, deep, detailed answer. So the best answer I can give you is defense that wins us ball games. That's the defense we need.
Will, go ahead.
What's up, Zion? This is Will again. Something that stood out when we talked to you, I guess, during quote-unquote media week was you saying that you wanted to just show you again. You wanted to get back to feeling like who you were before you got to the NBA. So I guess what particular qualities are you looking forward to showing that you maybe couldn't show last year for whatever reason?
Show that I'm a basketball player. I do whatever the team needs me to do, offense or defense, no matter what it is, to win. And I'm just a competitor. And I'm healthy and competing. I'm just a different kind of player. And I think that's the player everyone fell in love with.
Zion, this is David from thebirdrights.com. One of the things last year is that you did have that extended period away from the team. And there was a lot of talk that behind the scenes you were vocal with your teammates, you were encouraging them. Now from day one with this new Stan Van Gundy group and having gotten past your rookie season, do you feel more comfortable being a vocal presence around your teammates and in your locker room, just not only in just encouragement, but also in maintaining focus with this shortened training camp?
Yeah, I feel a lot more comfortable because, going through the rookie season, it was a lot. And, truth be told, nobody likes to lose. So, we felt like we were we got a losing record. Nobody wants that. So I'm gonna have to do things outside the comfort zone, as in encouraging my teammates, holding everyone accountable, and I expect them to do the same to me, because we want to have a winner's mentality.
Scott, back to you.
Sorry. Zion, Scott Kushner again with NOLA.com. If you were to, you're pairing with Steven Adams, obviously this is like the first day that you've gotten a chance to go out there, but is there anything in particular where you think you guys can really help each other? Is there like a couple aspects that you think that he's going to open up your game, or you're going to open up something for him?
It's one of those answers that can't give you all the secrets. Got to catch my opponent off guard somehow. But and Steven's a great guy. Like, you can just sense it from just meeting him for like 5 minutes. Like, he's a great guy, and on the court you can see he's a hard worker. And like y'all said, and Steven is strong. Like, I thought I was strong, but seeing it up close, like on the same team now, man, and it's crazy. Like, Steven is really strong, and he's a great basketball player.
Hey, Zion, one more about, I guess unlocking more of you as a basketball player. Do you feel that being 100% and not having to worry about rehab is going to allow you to fulfill more of your potential and be more of what you want to be?
Yeah, I think it definitely will be different, because, it's tough, man. Like, when you're going through rehab and, when you're finally able to step on the court, 3 minutes goes by, 4 minutes goes by, and you got to get subbed out. Man, it was a lot, and I tried to make the most of the situation. I think I did the best that I possibly could. But yeah, it's going to be a lot different. Me and Coach Gundy talked, and from what I know now, there are no restrictions. None.
You seem very happy about that.
Of course. I love to play basketball. There were no restrictions. I would not love that.
Zion, there's like we talked about, there's a very short time between today and the start of the regular season for you guys. Not just building that cohesion with this group and learning with all the stuff, building a team cohesiveness, learning the defense, learning this offense. Are you worried that it can be too much in a short amount of time, and how do you manage that as well?
I think that's when being a professional comes into play. This is the job we're in, and we just gotta adjust. If we want to be winners, we gotta do things that are outside the norm or uncomfortable for us. So I think and just being a professional comes into play. We're just gonna have to learn, adapt, and just take the guidance from Coach Gundy and the other coaches.
And Scott Kushner again. You mentioned it right there that losing is not fun. You're kind of want to hold guys a little bit more accountable. How do you sort of go about that process, I guess? Like, there is a maturation to becoming a leader. I know Brandon had kind of mentioned it too, that this is, y'all's team now. How do you kind of grow into that and kind of express that, it's not like any given night, it's not okay to lose, that it is very important each and every game. I mean, how do you get to that level, I guess?
It's just a reminder, especially to the returning guys. I remember how last season was. Was that fun with a losing record? I mean, y'all didn't play, and y'all can see that no one wants to lose. I'm sure that in y'all's profession, like, y'all want to be the best at what y'all do, and losing is just not fun. Like, it's needed because it makes you better. What don't break you will make you. So, it's a part of the ups and downs. But if we want to win, we just gotta remember what we've been through and stay steady onto the winner's mindset.
What's up, Zion? This is Will again. Knowing how short this window is between the starter actually practicing and playing other teams, what can you guys do as players to kind of help with that process, knowing you don't really have that much time before you got to be ready to go against other squads?
It goes back to what I said before. We got to be professional about it. We got to come in every day focused with the mindset to get better. And if we do that, then I think we'll be fine. You know, we're going to have our growing pains, that's to be expected, but, you know, I think if we come in focused every day, wanting to learn and wanting to win, I think we'll be fine.
Subscribe now and stay up to date for all things New Orleans Pelicans.